remarkable story of going from working for a business to owning the business.
So within sort of 3-ish years, we went from 0 to 4 businesses.
Okay, so between 600 and 900,000 profit. So this is where success breeds success. The more successful you are, the more successful you will be. Our final guest of the day, who is someone I've known for a number of years, who's got a remarkable story of going from working for a business to owning the business and then growing a group of businesses with some incredible plans for the future. So please would you just put down your pads and your pens for a moment so you've got both hands free and give an absolutely huge round of applause. Tell us the story then. How did your first acquisition first come about?
Yeah.
How did you find me and what was the process of doing that first deal?
Yeah, so the first deal, I suppose the origin of the story was 2009. So, 2009, I was an apprentice. As part of the apprenticeship, apprentice engineer, as part of that, 1 day a week you had to go to college for part of the training. During that 1 day a week at college, I met my now business partner. So we were working for different companies, both trainee engineers, went through college, that was a couple of years, were doing pretty well. Went through university, that was 1 day a week as well. Still working for different companies. He was at the same business since 2007, so a long time. From then, I'd changed jobs a couple of times, worked for a couple of different employers, and then it got to around 2018-ish, the idea of buying the business where my business partner worked. He's actually called Jonathan. So where Jonathan worked, that idea started to get floated. And because we'd known each other a long time, we both had a similar skill set, we're both engineers by trade. He drifted more technical, drifted more entrepreneurial, more business spirited. So he was the natural succession for where he was, for the business he was at. But comfortable with the technical side, all of that. But he says, if we do this, would you come and look after the business? Would you run the business and I'll do the technical side? I'm like, absolutely, it's an opportunity I kind of turned down. So we had a third party who was actually going to put the money in. They were going to fund it. We were going to run it. Good deal. We were going to get a little bit of equity. We're our own boss. Everything was great. That was around 2018. Fast forward to 2020, the deal still wasn't done. Dragged it out, problem after problem. My business partner, Jonathan, was still in the business, so that was starting to get soured. The relationship was getting strained. The business was starting to suffer a bit. Introduced COVID as well. Just the timing just wasn't good. So I turned to business partner Jonathan. I was like, there must be something we can do. This has gone on far too long. There must be something we can do. Went away, researched it, found Jonathan J, jumped on the fast track, Mastermind. That was in, I think it was the October of 2020. June 21, had the deal done. So from meeting Jonathan, packaged the deal, raised the finance, got it over the line in 6-7 months. But during that whole process of doing the fast track, the Mastermind, and getting it done, I'd sent letters, I'd reached out to other people. I was like, there's so much more to be had here. So in June of 21, we got that first business, which was always the plan. The following April, we got business number 2. The August after that, business number 3. And then the June after that, business number 4. So within sort of 3-ish years, we went from 0 to 4 businesses.
Okay, and just to give us some idea of revenue?
About 6 million.
Okay. Some idea of margin?
Around, floats between 12 and 15%.
Okay, so between 600 and 900,000 profit annually?
Yeah, so from 0 to that in, say, 3.5 years.
Can I ask what you were earning as an employee?
About 50k.
Okay, so quite a difference.
Quite a difference, yeah.
Fantastic, well done. So why did, with the benefit of hindsight and knowing what you know now, why did your now business partner and this investor person find it so difficult to get a deal done that it took them 2 years and it still didn't go anywhere?
They couldn't agree on deal structure.
Okay.
So they couldn't do the initial consideration and stuff like that. They couldn't agree, they couldn't get through due diligence, so they kept asking questions, nothing was coming back, time and time again. And my business partner, Jonathan, was in the mix of all of this. He was getting it from all sides. He was having to still do the job, look after the business, and then try and negotiate this deal as well.
Okay.
It just wasn't working.
If you want to find out how to buy a business successfully, get your free business buying toolkit. The link is in the video description below. As a result of that, you got some education around how to do an acquisition,
Yep.
and then you did it in 6-7 months. So how did you structure the deal? Because you didn't have the investor on board for that, did you?
Yeah, so we had to go and find the funds. So yes, this negotiation had been going on a while, but we're essentially had to start from scratch. So we cut ties with the investor. So then it was, okay, what deal structure can we put together? So we'd put a little bit of money in ourselves, leverage the debtor book, use the C-bills, and then deferred consideration.
So you used the C-bills?
Yeah.
What, as a bounce back or a full-size C-bills loan?
Full-size C-bills.
How much did you get?
100K.
Okay.
100K
Okay.
over.
Okay.
I think it was 4 or 5 years we got it over.
Nice, okay. Good interest rate as well.
Yes, yeah, very good.
Those were the days.
Good time for borrowing.
That allowed you to put the first deal together without the investor. What's happened to that person since?
So they had a business, or they've still got that business. It was actually a supplier, so
Okay.
that we're still trading with them.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of fine.
Okay.
Every now and then he pops up and he's like, can I invest? I'm like, too late.
So now you've got business number one, but you've discovered that you can do it. And I think this is just so important. When you realize that you can do it, and you realize that the only thing holding you back is yourself, you say, I wish I'd done this earlier. Let's get moving to the next deal. How did you find deal number two?
A lot easier. Wasn't directly involved. Didn't have anything to lose with it. So it was like, let's just go through the process. As we send out the batch of letters between doing the fast track and completing on the first deal, when we send out them batch of letters, load of conversations, met quite a few people, couldn't really get traction with any of them. Then we got this one. It was always, it'll be a fantastic and it's also an or if the first deal actually never went through, because it's never done until it's done. So we were hedging our bets that, well, if the first deal doesn't go through, we've got the second deal, which will be number one. But if it does go through, it's a fantastic and then we're off.
And you had good deal flow then, if you speak to several people at the same time?
Yeah, lots of conversations, just
Okay.
kept putting the letters out, kept having the conversations, kept going to them.
So this is the thing, you've got to have deal flow. You can't have one option. Whether you're buying or selling, you can't have one option. As soon as you have one option, you become a motivated buyer, in the case of us here in the room. So you need to have those options, because then you've got a sense of comparison. So you've got someone over here that you're talking to and someone over here that you're talking to. You can find out which is the best fit. You can find out which is the best pound-by-pound deal. But you can't do that if you've only got one. You've got no comparison. The more you can compare, the better deals you end up doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got the second one. I think I sent out another batch of letters. Maybe had some conversations with that, but would suddenly went from nothing to these two businesses. So it was like, ooh, that was a bit fast. But then the third deal come along, and that was actually a competitor of the first one. And they approached us because they seen what we were doing. Turns out they wanted out. So it was like, well,
Good.
yes, let's do that.
So this is where success breeds success. The more successful you are, the more successful you will be. The more deals you do, the more deals you will do, because people will approach you, because you've gone from someone who maybe they perceived as a talker to someone who's clearly a doer and someone who can get a deal done. And the number one thing that a seller wants is certainty. They want certainty that you aren't just someone who's going to talk to them, you're actually just someone who can follow through. You've now got the evidence that you followed through. I don't think you did any trade press PR, did you?
Not for the first couple.
Okay. Oh, you have since?
So for the fourth one, we PR, we used a corporate finance firm, and then they'd done all their PR as well, which is actually attracting more interest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How did you structure the second one? How did you fund it?
The second one, invoice financing again, so the debtor book. But we were able to get an aggregated facility with the first one and the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't overstretch ourselves, but we were able to borrow more. We had more of a pool to work from. So we kept rolling it up.
Nice idea, right? So you can actually use the business that you've bought to finance business number two alongside what business number two can produce of its own back.
Yeah. So we're starting to roll them up. And then the third one, it was a distressed deal, it was a pound deal. That'll give you some grey hairs. There's a reason.
We actually were talking about this right at the start of the day. And we were saying that buying businesses that don't make very much money, or businesses that are on a knife edge and distressed, look all exciting and sort of, I can be the hero of the hour by rescuing the business and turning it around. But I said to everyone, what if you can't? Because there could be a reason why this business is shriveling and dying, and you don't want to go anywhere near it. So tell us about your experience with that.
Yeah, so it was a small business. I think it was only 6, 7, 8 people. Within the first couple of months, we lost 2 or 3 key members. It's a small team anyway. A lot of the knowledge of the businesses was held in everyone's head. So they went. So it was like, how do we fill that void? Then we had problems with some of the employees that were left, specifically one of the people in the finance department. Can't really get into it, but they weren't putting invoices into the system. And then the first time we heard of it was a supplier come and says, you're on stop. The key supplier, you're on stop. Why are we on stop? You owe us £500,000. What? So then go through all of that, fix it. Anyway, fast forward sort of a year, 18 months, we've fixed it all. It's all good. It's been a very good investment for us, and we've been able to leverage that moving forward. But I wouldn't rush into them lightheartedly, unless your risk is minimal.
Yeah, absolutely. And it takes a thick skin, I think, to deal with a distressed situation. And I think you need a little bit of luck as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't matter how knowledgeable you are, how experienced or skillful you are as a business owner, but those sorts of situations, a little bit of luck, something to go your way. And luck is a terrible business strategy, so you don't want to count on it. Let's give him some applause. Deserves a huge round of applause.